Alrighty everyone, welcome back to the channel yet again. Another video, one I'm super excited for you to hear. Today, we are on the Discord. We're just going to be talking about Heart and Soul. I've got some of the members on the Discord server. We've all agreed to just hop in a call, and it's just some open, laid-back discussion about Heart and Soul from fellow Eric Church fans to you guys. So sit back, relax. This is probably going to be a little lengthy. It listens like a podcast. I'm not really going to do any animations other than like the intro. It's just going to be a podcast of us talking essentially. But yeah, if you're interested here, there's going to be some great conversation. I can guarantee that. And yeah, lastly, if you want to be a part of these in the future, obviously there's lots of big albums coming out. I'm going to try and do one for all the big releases. So if you want to be a part of one of these in the future, join the Discord server. The link is in that description. And let's go. We're here. We're on the Discord. We have 7 of us on the call right now. We have, going down the line, Big Bird.
Hello.
John.
Hello, my name is John. Just saying a quick hello when we get started off.
Lane.
Hey, I'm Lane.
Nathan.
Hello, I'm Nathan.
Myself, Waza, and Jaded.
Oh, we're gonna do it together. We're gonna tag team it.
Yeah.
Go, yeah.
No one's gonna know who anyone is. We're gonna talk about Eric Church. We're gonna talk about Heart and Soul. Not really and, but Heart and Soul, you know what I mean. And yeah, so first question, kind of like the obvious one, at least in my mind, which do you prefer, Heart or Soul? Anyone can go at any time, just which album, Heart or Soul?
I'll go. I think Heart is better for obvious reasons. I feel like it's more consistent with the theme, with a few exceptions. I feel like the sound is overall less weird.
I can see it. I can see that.
I agree with that. I agree with everything you said.
Well, let's just do a quick thing. So, who is picking Heart over Soul?
I.
Me too, for the most part, but I would reckon I'd listen to Soul as often as I'd listen to Heart, but I think Heart is more my type of sound.
Yeah,
Me too.
I'll go with John. I agree.
Is there anyone that prefers Soul here, or are we all Heart?
No, Soul sucks.
Okay, well,
It doesn't suck.
this is where it gets spicy.
That's harsh.
Let's go,
That's hot.
Nathan.
The thing is, Soul to me is more interesting musically and melodically, and the ideas that they went with, and it was so like out on a limb. It felt so far, and whereas Heart felt more like not as in mainstream horrible country radio, but it felt more, what we're used to hearing almost. But I will say, and I think this is like a really interesting subject, is that I was so excited for Heart. I got up the morning that it was out, and I laid in bed and I listened to the thing, and I went listened to it top to bottom, and then I listened to it again and again and again. By the time that Soul came to roll out, was it like a week and a half later or something?
Yeah,
2 weeks.
the next Friday, so a week.
It came out and I didn't even notice, but I don't know why.
I got a
was just-
video
I lost
about
all
that. Yeah, I mean, for me, it was interesting for me because I heard Heart, obviously, just when it came out, and then Soul was shared with me a few days prior, which is why I was able to post a review the day it came out. But I don't know. So in terms of like anticipation, when you say, as far as it goes, when you talk about not really noticing when it came out, for me it was different just because I heard it a few days before and I listened to it in the days leading up. But it was kind of cool because I felt so exclusive listening to it early. So in that sense, it was almost like a revamp of the excitement because I was like, hey, look at me go listening to like exclusive music and stuff. But I definitely understand the because Heart was really good too. It's not like Soul was the, I think generally speaking, I mean all 7 of us preferred Heart over Soul, but Soul was probably the weaker of the two. So when you put out an album as strong as Heart, I mean technically that could just build hype, and you can say, well, now I'm more excited to see what this one's gonna be. But I'm not sure. Chime in. You guys don't have to stay muted the whole time. Just chime in when you want.
I was
felt
really
like-
excited for Heart. I was really excited for Soul. Heart in particular, because I knew I knew I was going to get the few songs that kind of like would more so resonate with me based on the team he was presenting with it. But I was extremely excited to see what was going to happen with all these songs that everything sounded different on Soul so far.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just interested to see how far he was going to take that, because I kind of felt he didn't fully show us the very boundary of it with Break It kind of guy. I thought there was going to be something a little more with that, and that's what worked out with Look Good and You Know It.
Mm-hmm. I was
That
just
was
gonna
the
say.
boundary of it. Yeah.
I feel
Okay,
like
so
sorry, you go.
okay, okay, so before all the albums came out, my excitement was so like dampened because the rollout was just so slow and so bad. But when Heart came out, my excitement for Soul just like kind of shot up because Heart was so good. But then Soul came out, and I was low key kind of disappointed because of how like
Low key, you just called it trash 2 seconds ago.
yeah, it's just complete trash. I was a little disappointed because I feel like that kind of sound. Like Eric isn't a guy who goes for like number one hits. Like I understand the fact of like pushing the boundaries, being different. I understand that, but I feel like more people were expecting a lot of stuff from like Heart, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, oh, you go, Big Bird. You've been cut off
Sorry.
already.
I felt like for me the first one like set my expectations really high, and then Soul just didn't live up to the bar.
I think that's like the general
I had a lot of
consensus.
hype for Soul, but then it just kind of went. I felt really disappointed after.
I think another thing that really was a major factor for me is in like I did enjoy Soul. I don't want this to come across like I didn't like Soul. I really like Soul. It's a very
Yeah.
hard distinction for me to go. I prefer Hot Soul. I do, but it's close. It's very close. But I think one thing that made me a little disappointed was probably, as like you mentioned in your video, was and I do agree with you completely, is like the order of the songs was a bit messed up, and was the run of the album. By like Russian Roulette genuinely had me sat up in bed, like jumping up and down with excitement as he said Russian Roulette with the radio. I was like, what a line. It was like someone had just scored a football goal, and I was just so excited. But then the album did like fizzle out. Like I don't mind Bunch of Nothing. I think it's a really fun song. It's good to like crank up and drive or something. The little twisty. I'm a musician and I don't know what it is in Love Shine Down. The.
Oh, I don't like that part. I think I compared it to like the twisted on a bop it.
Yeah. I've never heard that before, and I don't think I want to hear it again.
I know. When I hadn't heard it before as well. Well, I couldn't. Sorry, I couldn't think of like any other time I'd heard it. But then, for no apparent reason, I've been listening to a lot of Marvin Gaye lately, and it comes up in which song? One of the songs on his "What's Going On" album. It comes up. I don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure. If it would load the track list, I'm pretty sure it's Right On. I think that like little twisty sound is in Right On by Marvin Gaye, and I can't like after hearing it on Love Shine Down and just being so fed up with it, I still hear it and I'm just like, nah, it's just too piercing for me.
So here's my thing: is sorry, Lane, as piercing as it is, and as like because it is, it's on the I'd have to listen back to be sure, but I'm pretty sure it's on the 2 and the 4 of each beat. If it's not on the 2, it's definitely on the 4.
Yeah,
And it is emulating a Snaptrack. So what I said is, would I rather have that or a Snaptrack?
Snapchat for me.
Really? No, I would.
I 100% disagree.
No,
I would
because I
rather
can't.
have
I can't
I
listen to
hate
whatever
Snapchat.
that sound was, man. Like, do I like Snaptracks? Not necessarily, but I did not like that sound. It was just
I've never heard the sound.
using it as like I wouldn't have an issue with it like if it was just a rare occurrence throughout the song, but to have it as often as it was, just no. So I know everyone's like, oh, Snaptracks are disgusting, blah blah blah. Well, I'll take a Snapchat over that noise, but that's just me, and it's clearly an unpopular opinion. But
I think that I want when Snaptrack started, I didn't notice them at first, but once I heard them, I wasn't able to unhear them.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, you'll see like pictures and stuff. It's like once you see it, you can't unsee it. I agree. That's what Snaptracks were for me until I started thinking like, you know,
But
it's
I
kind
think
of
Love
everywhere.
Shine Down is a good song, but I just haven't heard that yet.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Love Shine Down is a
I
great song. That part just kind of annoys me.
But once I hear it, I won't unhear it.
I really like the sound and the build of Love Shine Down the whole way, when the way his vocally is sort of punching some of the words at the start. But then when it gets really loud towards the end of the song, I think it's just unbalanced. And there's moments like that throughout the rest of the Heart record. I think the difference between going from Stick That in Your Country song into Never Break Heart, I don't like adjusting the volume myself when I listen to something. I want the songs to accommodate for the sound that they are. If it's quieter spoken, then maybe the song should be a bit louder in context with everything else when you're doing, because I don't want to be turning up and down for how I like to hear it in my ear.
I can understand that. Big Bird, were you saying
I
something?
think. I don't know if I was saying anything, but I can't remember what I'm gonna say now. So
Jaded then.
Oh, I got something.
That's a major
So that
mood.
sound in Love Shine Down, I'm like 80% sure it's in Creepin' too. Just like not, it's more subtle.
Is it? I was
I'm
listening.
like 80% sure it's the same thing. They just use it differently, but it's like a lot more subtle. So
I'm gonna go and listen to that as soon as we're done and be like a hawk.
I am as well, because
I'm like,
I was listening through Chief just the other day, because Cyrus, and if you're not subscribed to Cyrus, like, what are you doing? But Cyrus, he sent me a list of a bunch of albums, and I've just been listening through it, and it's honestly like great. I'll throw the list of albums up on the screen now, but it's just like 50 albums, and even if I've heard them before, like I've heard Chief by Eric Church before, but just to listen through it again, I don't know. There's something cool about just going through albums slowly but surely, and all of a sudden, like, I've listened to like 12 new albums or something. Not new, but like, you know, it just kind of revamps your memory of music. I don't know. I'm kind of going off on a tangent, but this is just tied because I was listening to Chief just the other day, and I did not hear that in Creepin', which is also like a family icon in my home, just because for whatever reason my mom despises Creepin'. So like,
So that's why in your top 10 video you said Creeping for personal reasons.
yeah, because like, oh, we will just taunt my mom with Creepin'. Like, there have been times where we've like planted a speaker or something, and then whatchamacallit, just start playing it, and she just hears that little like boom 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 boom, and she's just, yeah, I don't know why she doesn't like it. It's a great song, it's a great album, but
Well, I love it. I think it's hilarious.
I think Love Shine Down deserved more of like a gospel-esque.
yeah, that's exactly what
instrumentation.
I thought when I heard it.
Yeah, you could have put why? Now we're recording. I forgot her name. Joanna. Is it Joanna?
oh, it's
Yeah.
back up.
Yeah, no,
It's Joanna Cotton, I'm pretty sure.
That's Joanna
Yeah,
Cotton.
no.
There we go. She should.
Yeah, no.
They should have thrown her. Like, I know she was on it very predominantly, but she should have been a much bigger thing.
yeah,
than
that should have
for
been
me.
Joanna's song.
Yeah,
for sure.
Although I'd said to me and John were talking before, I said I absolutely love. She was one of my favorite parts of Soul. Like, just having her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was her record. That was just. I loved that. I thought she was awesome.
Super talented for sure.
Yeah, she almost stole the show at a few times, but I really like. I think Grady touched on it in his review. I'm not sure. I know he mentioned it sounding Motown on Soul, which I completely agree with. But I don't know if he made this point in his review. But I think it is the not just Joanna, but like the abundance of backup vocals and the group singing. Like, what's the? Let me pull up the track list. Why am I drawing a blank on what song it is? And Apple Music takes forever to load. Is it Where I Want to Be, I believe, where they're just all screaming at the end, like, oh, oh, oh.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
right at the end. Yeah,
I love
Good
that
song.
group feel it gave off. Like, there was something communal about Soul. just because it didn't feel like just Eric. It was that community feeling, if that makes sense, where it's not just Eric on this album. Like, this is just a collection of musicians.
And there's been a lot of experimentation within the mainstream. I know there's argument as to whether Eric Church is because he pleases the mainstream and he sort of does what he wants, hence this. But there's been a lot of movement in the mainstream. We'll tie it straight back to Eric Church, but Luke Combs did something with BBC Radio 2 in England where he did this thing with a Philharmonic Orchestra, and he did some of his songs with an orchestra, and instead of fiddle, it's like violins and classical music.
That'd be sick.
And I just thought that was, it's awesome. I recommend it. If you've not heard it, go listen.
I will.
Just YouTube it. I'm sure you'll find it. But it's really good. But back to Eric Church, there's been a lot of experimentation, and I'm here for it. I like it.
I'm here for all the experimentation, and I think if you're like, he was at the ACMs, if you're at the ACMs, you're mainstream, because with all due respect to the ACMs, they don't know a single person that is not born, raised,
The ACMs are trash.
and just worshiping Nashville. So if you're at the ACMs, you're mainstream. So
The ACMs worship Dan and Shay.
What was that?
They worship
ACMs.
Dan and Shay.
Oh yeah, I mean, where were we?
Yeah, my mic just randomly stopped working, so I had to leave and rejoin really fast.
We talk about the ACMs and Eric Church, but I think that if we go down there, we'll keep going down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, all I will say is, like, as much as I despise the song "Glad You Exist," mostly due to this really like emotional post they put up the day before it dropped. They're like, "This means so much," and then they go out and couldn't have said less with a song, but acted like it's some emotional statement. As much as I don't like that song, good grief, those two can sing. Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
They are, especially Shay. I mean, Dan is underrated for his like harmonizing, but pitch perfect every time. Like,
especially on "I Should Probably Go to Bed." Oh my god, he goes crazy towards the end.
It's so far from country, but
I'm gonna say this. I Should Probably Go to Bed should not have had this like big rockin' vibe at the end.
I loved that rockin' vibe.
no, that's
I
the best bit.
I liked it, but it was very
like it.
inconsistent.
was
I
a
like
little-
the soft tone.
It was a little all over the place, but I really liked when it all came crashing
Like,
at the end.
You can't deny Shay's crazy run with the vocals.
Dude, he's nuts. He's nuts.
I don't know. I don't know if we're going way off track from Heart and Soul. But,
Yeah, exactly.
It's fine. It's
probably
fine.
worth note that Dan, the harmonizing singer, I don't know. I sometimes forget which one's which. He actually produced the whole thing, so he was. I'm sure he was the producer on that. So
I watched the
that's
video.
pretty cool.
I don't know if we watched the same.
I
video,
did, yeah.
but
I watched.
I've never
watched
seen
Yeah.
the video.
He did a video where he explained how he made "I Should Probably Go to Bed," and it's really cool to hear how he does it, and it sounds it sounds great. Is it country? Not at all, but like I really enjoyed that song, and I'll get back to Eric Church in a second. But in the video, why is my chair squeaking so much, bro? In the video, he's literally out here like, and then I put this underlying synth and stuff, very like EDM. You'll hear it in a lot of EDM songs. I'm like, you never, not once, said, "Oh, this sounds country," but he's out here like, "Oh, this is a nice hip hop."
It's the self-awareness of it, isn't it?
EDM, yeah, but it's just like, so why, if you used all these sounds that you are openly saying are from these genres, why is it country? Like, it's not country whatsoever, but it's honestly one of my favorite Dan and Shay songs because they abandoned country completely. They just made a pop song and it worked, and I think that's the case for a lot of pop country artists, where if they would just let go of the country and make pop music, it would be better. But
Especially Keith.
So you're saying Russell Dickerson makes good music?
that is absolutely not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm
No.
just saying maybe if he went full pop, there'd be a better chance. Although then you have the flip side where you see Walker Hayes and he went full pop with "Trash My Heart," and
But
that
it's the same thing.
trash.
I before like you said, the snap tracks where you didn't notice them, then you did, and then you couldn't underestimate it. It was just a couple of years ago. I heard the song Craig, and I was like, dude, this is like a really, this guy Craig is such a good guy. What a song, really well written. It tells a story. It's very nice. And then someone said about the snap tracks, and I was like, oh yeah, this guy I think Grady said in his video, he was like, "Yeah, he's singing about a pastor and he sounds like he's trying to pick him up. I don't get it." And I was like, "It's just ruined. It's gone. Like there's no coming back from this." It was great, and now it's not. And ever since then, I've never took Walker Hayes seriously, and that's just the way it goes.
I mean,
honestly feel like. Oh, sorry, you go.
No, you go.
I honestly feel like Walker's sort of the butt end of jokes at this point.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, we'll go to one of my other questions I have here. So, what are some? I'm assuming you've all seen my reviews. Is that safe to assume? I'm not
Safe
saying
to
if
assume.
I have.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
So, what were some points I made in my review that you disagree with? You're just
Bunch
like,
of nothing.
You got it wrong. Okay, you can
I'm
kick us
sorry.
off, Big Bird.
I'm sorry. It actually sort of angered me the way you talked about bunch of nothing.
I think I described it as a Coulter Wall throwaway.
Like
What?
it's so dumb, but it's also so good.
It's got energy, and I especially picked up on that during his ACM performance.
Like it's so fun. It's so fun to. Oh my god.
I think I did
love
go
it.
a little. I watched back my review. I think I did go a little harsh on Bunch of Nothing, but I will stand by the fact it's the worst song on Heart.
And also, I don't think you said this in the review, but you said it in a video. Break It Kind of Guy does not suck. Okay.
I changed my mind on Break It Kind of Guy in the
I
context.
think everybody
of the album.
did.
Yeah, when you hear it through the album, all of a sudden it's just, I don't know, it doesn't feel as out of place. Like I said, Hell of a View almost feels more out of place when you hear the whole album. So,
I definitely agree with that.
am I gonna listen to Break It Kind of Guy, like just because? No, but if I'm listening to Soul, I'm not gonna skip Break It Kind of Guy. So it's a weird case. It's
I
like,
can't think of. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna make another point. You go.
I can't think of anything that I particularly disagree with, like Big Bird, as strongly as that. So I'm trying to chime in now before anyone says it. The only thing that I'd sort of understood but also didn't was when you said move Hell of a View over to Heart and scrap Stick That in Your Country Song. I agree with you in the sense that Hell of a View doesn't really fit in Soul, and it probably would fit on Heart had it have been marketed in this red. Now it's been marketed in blue. I just can't see it in red. Anyway, and yes, Stick That in Your Country Song doesn't fit on Heart either, and neither does it fit on Soul. But I don't know. Now I've heard Stick That. I don't want to not hear it because if we're scrapping it completely, then that song's gone.
I feel like it would fit good on.
Just leave it as a single and just leave it.
I feel like it would fit good on because that's sort of like where the songs that don't really fit go anywhere go. Like Deuce Side. Oh, I know we're not supposed to talk about it, but sorry, never mind.
No, go ahead.
No, go.
Deuce Side fits nowhere, and so.
I think he actually he did an interview with Rolling Stone, and he was talking about when he was organizing the songs, and he said something like they weren't sure how they were going to organize it because they had Heart and Soul, but they just had these other songs that they didn't know where to put. So they're like, what if we just make a third album? And so don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that if I'm remembering the interview correctly, I'm pretty sure And is literally just a place because they had songs that were really good, but they didn't fit anywhere. I'm pretty sure that's where And was born. So
that's exactly what he said. Yeah.
If you listen through it, it like makes no sense. Each one does not fit right after one another.
I mean,
I think Stick That in Your Country Song would have been really good if it followed Bunch of Nothing.
I could see that. I just think Stick That is way too heavy, because like not
It's definitely
sonically but content wise, because Heart is just like young romance and whatnot and having fun. Obviously Russian Roulette's a bit of a heavier one, but it's all just personal stuff. And then Stick That, just this big political statement metal rock song, it just doesn't thematically or sonically fit in my.
I think as well, Eric. Sorry, John.
I was actually just going to mention something I was saying to you there earlier on. When I was saying, remember when we were saying about kind of a lot of the songs on all the records compared to his previous ones. I mean, all the 3 Heart and Soul records. they're kind of about nothing, and then obviously there's the song "Bunch of Nothing." Like, there's not really a theme to a lot of the songs. It's kind of about emotions more so than a specific thing. Like in "Desperate Man," you've got hippie radio, jukebox in a bar, and all these sort of things that would have taken more thought to put something about something. Whereas all these songs, especially heart and soul ones, they're kind of just ideas that he would have come up on the day and then come up with a melody to attach them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he talked about that in the interview as well, where, I mean, it's well known by this point that he was trying to record a song every day. So in that sense, it doesn't make for the best like written songs, but I admire the work rate, and it does, like, I think it lets the experimentation really flow because they didn't give themselves time to overthink it. They're just like, go, 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 just try it, we'll see where it goes. Like, I know he talked about how the Heart of the Night, where the drums, where it's like, in the still beating heart of the night, where the drums hit every time. He said how they thought maybe that's too weird, but they just were like, nah, just keep it. There's no
Just
point.
go with it.
Just go with it. And honestly, it's one of my favorite parts of the song. Like,
yeah, I remember listening to it and being like, wow, this is really outside of the box. But
Yeah,
you know what? It's Eric Church, so he's going to do what he wants. But I think another thing that he also said was, and it's something that I've noticed, is over the course of all his albums, I know specifically starting from Chief, I don't know about Sinners Like Me, but or Carolina, but the singles, the first single from his album has been heavy. So like Chief's first single was Homeboy, and so on and so on, and like what was Mr. Misunderstood's first single? That was Mr. Misunderstood, wasn't it? I think I could be wrong.
Yeah,
I could be very wrong. I don't live in America, so the radio is like far
and the
away.
second single has always been a big hit.
And the second single's always been that. So literally, when you look at it, the first single is "Stick That in Your Country Song," and the second single is "Hell of a View." And those two is like as your first big loud single and then hit song couldn't be any better for me. Whether they fit in the albums, that's your question. But did then Eric go into the studio going, right, we're going to make a soul record, we're going to make the heart record, and then we're going to make one big loud song for the first single, and then one big, really like easy listening, lovely song for the second single. It's just how are these songs written? How do they go into the studio? And no one knows that other than like Eric and the
I can see that.
I can see that. Maybe they don't have that plan going in, but I bet you they do know that they're probably going to make a heavier song, and they're probably going to make a song that has more hit qualities. And then, because I mean, he finished this in the start of January, and Stick That came out in like June or July. So from recording until releasing, they can definitely just pick, like, okay, Stick That's obviously the heaviest song we recorded, and Hell of a View, we think this has the most hit potential. So if they do actually say our first single is going to be heavy, our second is going to be a hit, then I would assume that's how they go about it, but I'm not sure. It's a decent point.
Sorry. I know I'm not the one that's supposed to be pitching questions, but if in a hypothetical world that Stick That in Your Country Song and Hell of a View doesn't exist, what is then the heavier single, and what is the easy, like the hit single? What does anyone have any?
Well, the hit would definitely be Russian
Fire.
Roulette.
I agree with that.
I think Russian Roulette belonged in the album, not really as a single.
I think Never Break Heart.
Yeah.
I think
What is the easy listening single?
I'm glad I didn't hear Russian Roulette until the album came out.
Oh,
yeah, me
same.
too.
I am too.
I think, yeah, Never Break Heart is a nice, easy one that they would release for the hit. For the heavy one,
Part of the Night.
I feel like You Look Good and You Know It. Look Good and You Know It. Maybe.
Oh, but I don't think.
I would say Heart of the Night for heavy.
Well, yeah.
Or Lone Wolf Eater, I think they should have put out. If their Stick That in Your Country Song wasn't on the cards for them, because that was the last song they recorded actually. So they could have just finished the day early, and it wouldn't have been there.
Wow.
People have a lot of
That's
high praise for
incredible.
Lone Wolf.
Lone Wolf belonged on Heart.
You think?
Yeah.
I do kind of think it does, but as I've re-listened to it over and over and over again, I don't know where to put it.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty sure I have I do have the and files. I'm still yet to like fully listen through, just because I've gotten so like caught up lately in the sense that you got 2 albums from Eric, you got Thomas Rhett, Justin Moore, and then you get all these little ones as well, like the Latham Warlick album and everything. So I'm probably realistically not going to review unless it gets released to the general public. I haven't even taken the time to listen through it yet. I've just been so busy in every way, which is kind of hard to believe seeing as I'm in lockdown, but
Oh no!
Oh yeah, you're so busy.
No.
Canada's still doing trash. Okay, here's a good one. So, where does Heart and Soul rank in Eric's catalog?
Oh, can I go first?
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you want me to just go like favorite from least favorite or something
That's
like
a
that?
lot.
Yeah. I mean, if you can make it quick. It's more just like, is this on
Okay,
the
so
bottom half, top
first
half?
I would have Mr. Misunderstood.
Yep.
Then, wait, just Heart?
Just Heart? Okay. Yeah, keep Heart and Soul separate.
Mr. Misunderstood, Heart, Chief, The Outsiders, Soul, Sinners Like Me, Desperate Man, and then Carolina.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Any objections?
What did
or
Carolina
what are your
do?
lists?
That's good.
I'm happy to see Outsiders very high up in your rankings because I do think that
Me
was
too,
underrated.
man.
Outsiders gets crapped on so hard.
It does for no reason as well. There are some awesome songs on there, and a Devil, Princess of
So underrated.
Princess of
Princess of
Chief
Darkness.
is that album that kind of
Darkness,
like
that's it.
made me realize who Eric is as a person.
Outsiders?
Yeah,
I also don't agree with
Yeah.
Carolina being
The
so
title track on that slaps so hard. That's
yeah,
like
it does.
that's my go-to for like hyping up. I think you put it in your hype up list, right?
Speaking of my hype up list, bro, that video has just steadily gained views. Like, it's one of my most consistent videos. That and my Tyler Hubbard one, but
I think if you
keeps getting
go to
50
most
a day.
popular, it's like on top.
Oh, it is by a mile. It's at like 2750. It's just every day.
Wow.
It's like 50 views. I know.
For me, I just
like
didn't like any of Carolina's deep cuts.
Carolina's deep cuts. I mean,
There's some good
you know,
ones. There's some good ones.
I was talking to a family member the other day, and I was telling him about Eric Church and how I just love his stuff. And there is one Eric Church song that I have I've listened to every single song he's ever put out, aside from someone like the live versions of unreleased originals that are on those giant ones that I may have not heard. But the only one that I've heard and I've got not keen is The Joint. And that is the only song I've ever heard from Eric Church and gone, meh.
But I agree. I can agree with that.
The rest, I've all gone, yeah, love it. Like, yes, I would listen to this again. You know.
That's an interesting point. So that would raise me to ask you this: what's your least favorite Eric Church song of all time, if you have
The
one?
Joint.
The Joint.
The Joint.
Double.
Yeah.
Joint or Keep On?
Devil.
Keep
That's one of
on.
my. Who said Devil?
I
did.
Keep on.
Get out.
Oh no, you can't come on.
What's with all the Joint hate? I like the Joint.
Yeah, the Joint's way
I'm
better
gonna
than
make
Devil.
A bold
I can't
statement
decide.
here.
I can't decide if I like Keep On or Joint less.
This is gonna
Keep on funny.
This is gonna really annoy people when I say this, and like, don't quote me on it, but it's definitely like in my top tier of Eric Church songs I despise. Drink in My Hand.
Oh yeah, I
hate
agree with
that
that.
song.
It's overrated.
It's overrated.
Overrated.
It's way overrated.
I like it.
I think it
but
got
it's overrated.
overplayed. I think part of my hatred for it is that I'm so sick of hearing it.
It is played so much.
Like, I even hear it on the radio every now and then. Today, I'm like, there's more songs to play than Drink in My Hand.
Actually do something good, not the same one over and over and over again.
I'm gonna make a bold statement here.
Here we go.
My
Hell,
least
Jesus,
favorite
song.
Eric Church song is "Look Good and You Know It."
Nope.
Get out.
I hate that song.
Check this out, boys. Check this out.
Gets kicked from the call.
I hold all the power.
Hey, I'm about to make another hot take though. So
Okay, I'm gonna unmute Nathan 1 second. You're back, Nathan. You're back.
Yeah, I'm here.
so
I despise you now.
Hot take from Big Bird. Living part of life kind of sucks.
Oh,
Right. I genuinely think in one sentence I can change your mind on living part of life. That song was recorded in. Don't quote me on this. I know it was definitely recorded live, and I'm sure it was recorded in one take.
It's just so squeaky. It's so squeaky. I
One
do
take
not like it.
live. I just think that's so impressive. What a way to close an album.
I really
take
don't
live.
like it. I'm sorry. I don't care if he did one take. It hurts my ears.
On the topic of album closers, really quickly, when you say what a way to close the album, I don't know. Like, I mean, it doesn't sound like a one take or whatever, so it gets by. But like, the Justin Moore album ended with an acoustic version of "We Didn't Have Much," and
Nah.
I wasn't a big fan of that.
I really enjoyed some of the songs on the album, but I just think the album cover is a bit cheap. I think that like, why
It's
are we
too short.
Why You Keep Getting Me Drunk is essentially Son of the Sun by Derek Bentley. Just this, like, listen to them both, and I will ruin both of them for you. They're the exact same.
I mean, I love them both, though.
Straight out of the country, it feels like another attempt at small town street cred, and I'm just not here for either of them. The rest of the songs, though, yes, all
in all seriousness, I don't like country music, Jesus.
What are we doing? Why are we?
Which
How?
one?
How?
Country music?
He's muted again.
How?
I mean, I'm not
Because
a
I don't
fan
like the
of
song.
that.
I
Fat
do.
guitar.
I will back up the fact that, it's like we need a country music Jesus or whatever, and then he proceeds to record like one of the heaviest rock songs. So
I know what you mean.
May-
You could say the same
maybe
about a
it's-
lot of bootlegs to Phil.
maybe a slight disconnect there. But
Anyone
I
notice that
still
when
like
country
it. I
is
still
in the
adore the
title,
writing.
most of the time it's a
Are
rock
we
song.
still going to
Yeah.
rank Eric Church records, or
Eric Church, what?
I thought we were ranking Eric Church records?
If you got a rank and throw it out there.
All right. First of all, The Outsiders. I hate
Uh-oh.
you, Grady Smith.
I knew that was coming.
Wait, first as in like top one or bottom one?
No. The Outsiders is my favorite.
Oh wow, okay, I'm here for that. That's bold. I like that. I don't
Let's go.
agree, but I
That
like
is-
that. It's bold.
That is bold. I respect that.
Yeah, I respect it.
Like, what are people? Real quick, because I've never understood the hatred for the Outsiders. I think
It's
a really
inconsistent.
solid
I don't.
album.
I like it, but it's inconsistent with.
Being in the middle of Chief and Mr. Misunderstood really throws it off.
Yeah.
I guess I can see that. I mean, for me, when you look at the songs here, like The Outsiders, A Man Who Was Gonna Die Young, Talladega, Like a Wrecking Ball, Broke Record, That's Damn Rock and Roll, Devil Devil, Give Me Back My Hometown, obviously has The Joint, which you guys clearly don't like. But I don't like, that's a incredible batch of songs. I've never understood the hatred. So if anyone here really dislikes The Outsiders, please explain, because I don't.
I really
understand the
dislike
Please
a few of the
fight me.
songs, but I really love a few of the songs. So I mean,
Yeah, I think it has some of his best and some of his worst. Like
I
ever.
agree.
What aside from the Joint then, Lane? What would you say is his worst on there?
Broke Record and Devil Devil. I really
Broke
don't like those.
Record. I really enjoy Broke Record. You know that bit where the record actually skips and the way that the drum skips I think it's a snare and a
It's
kick
cool
in
idea,
there.
I just don't like
I
the
don't like
song.
Roller Coaster Ride.
There's some unorthodox production there, but I do
That's
like the
one of
song.
my. I like the groove on that one.
I like the wooziness, the
Yeah.
little synth pads that like fire.
I
from the
enjoyed
bass.
Roller Coaster Ride.
I don't like
Yeah, I like
Roller
that.
Coaster Ride. I don't know. I don't know why I don't like it. It's just not. I don't know.
It's a
That's like, you
fantastic record, like The Outsiders, from start to finish, and like, but I find them skipping bits of it too often. When I go back to it, I wouldn't listen to it through. But in terms of a listening experience, I'd much rather listen to Soul straight through than The Outsiders.
Yeah.
I feel like some of that is though maybe because Soul is new and Outsiders you've probably listened to quite a bit.
And
or
Soul's
is that
shorter. It's much more approachable.
Yeah.
It feels
that's true
super
as well.
weird. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but feels super weird going from Outsiders to Man Who's Gonna Die Young in one, like in the span of one track,
That's-
and then going
that's
back to
fair.
Cold One.
And then Cold
That's
One.
very fair.
Cold One's
Cold
funny
One?
though to me.
I like Cold One.
No.
But like
Cold
right
One is
after A Man Who's
actually-
Gonna Die Young.
Cold One is actually the only one on that record that I like directly dislike. I don't like that song. It annoys me. I don't know why.
I think it's funny. I think the fact that he's saying that she left him But the cold part of it isn't that she broke up with him. The fact that they were
Uh-huh.
just sat there. It's the fact that she took one of his beers, so now he's got
Yeah.
11
I mean,
instead of 12.
I mean,
I
it's
think that's
clever.
hilarious.
It's just kind of annoying to me to listen to. That's the
I
only
can
one that I skip.
understand that. I can understand that.
I also don't like Wrecking Ball. Don't know why. I just don't like it.
I like that one.
Slight
it's
take
sexy.
there. A lot of.
That-
I mean, it is very like. Not aggressive, but well, maybe aggressive is the word. But its songwriting is very straightforward. Eric's intentions are made very clear.
Yeah, no
Like
kidding.
Wrecking Ball.
Okay, so
I love Wrecking Ball.
Overture.
Yeah.
okay, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna say this. Overshore, don't mute me again.
Yeah.
The
Can't
first time I
promise.
heard the prelude, I didn't like it.
What, the Princess of Darkness?
I had to.
Oh. Oh, he's
Oh
gone.
no, he's like, oh no,
That,
oh no.
wasn't that recorded in a parking lot?
I don't know.
All right, Nathan, continue. I had to for the meme.
I'm getting bullied.
That's exactly what's happening. Okay, I had to for the
Um,
meme just because you said please don't mute me. So before you could
But then
even
I
get
listened
going.
to it again, and then I liked it.
Sorry, repeat your point.
I can't say it now. The first time I heard the prelude, I didn't like it, but then I listened to it again, and then I liked it.
I can see that. I mean,
Don't mute me again.
muted.
I
I'm gonna
really
mute-
don't like cold one. Like someone was saying there a couple of minutes ago. I think it's funny, like was said, but it's not. It's not a nice sound. It sounds like something off Moonshine in the Trunk, and I really dislike that album from the sound of where they're trying to overly put so much type of sound into the songs, but it's not.
I love
it's
that.
not something I listen to.
Bro, they put way too much onto that.
Do you know what I will say? Do you know why we were talking about heart and soul and how some of the runnings of the songs, right?
Yeah.
Although I would say that this album is one Chattanooga Lucy away from being a 10 out of 10. I can't think of
Which one was
a
that?
song,
You're talking about Heart?
Mr. Misunderstood. I don't think that there is
Oh.
one song on there that doesn't run into the next.
I don't
Like,
understand the hate for Chattanooga Lucy. I've heard a few people say that. But
it's the only. I don't hate the song, but it's the only
It
thing that's
doesn't fit.
keeping me from giving Mr. Misunderstood a 10 out of 10.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't
Or
love
the
the song.
Evans
I don't
11.
hate it. It's just kind of there.
Yeah. I agree.
What?
And that's the only reason I just can't
Well-
bring myself to give it a 10. I really want to, but I just can't.
I give the album like a 9.2.
Yeah, it's a strong 9.
Yeah.
There's an argument for a 10 there, but
Mm.
it's my
If-
favorite.
if
If Chattanooga Lucy wasn't on there, then it would be just straightforward would be a 10.
Yeah.
Kill
Argu-
word
arguably
mixed drinks
an
aren't that
11.
good.
What was that, Big Bird? Or was that not Big Bird that said that?
You said something
Um,
about 11.
Yeah, I said that.
Oh.
I thought someone else cut in. Either
You,
way,
you don't even know our voices yet.
hey, when someone goes, it's hard to tell who that was. So, few.
It could be
few-
you.
It could
I
have
think
been
me and John will be the two, especially John. Like, when John's speaking.
You know
I think
Yeah.
we might need to put some subtitles under John when he talks.
Bro, the disrespect I could do with that. I could just throw some non-related subtitles whatsoever on him when he's talking.
Well, you can try it out now. What I'm saying. See, when I watch it back, I'll see what pops up underneath this.
I'm gonna add captions now just for that. But few quick ones to close it off. Favorite song from Heart and Soul, or favorite new one out of the new tracks. What's your favorite?
I think I can
People
answer for everyone. Oh, well, okay, no, I can't.
Russian roulette.
Wait, are we talking as a whole, like out of all the 3 albums?
Out of Heart and Soul. Well, not really and because people haven't heard it, but out of Heart and Soul, favorite new track. So not like Stick That or Hell of a View because we've like heard them before, but out of the
Russian Roulette.
10 new songs,
Russian roulette.
Heart
Who
of
is-
the night for me.
Heart of the Night. Thank you.
Yeah, Russian roulette, but Heart of the Night is incredible.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Russian roulette, but on like a musical standpoint, probably something like Look Good and You Know It, maybe.
I was
really
gonna
like
say
that.
I have
sound of
the.
that.
I would make
The
the
Bright Side
argument for
Girl.
Look Good and You Know It. I'd make the argument
Bright
for.
Side Girl.
Yeah, I mean,
Sorry.
there are 4 that stick out, and I know that's like half of the new songs, but like look, well, just number 2 and 3 on both albums, Heart of the Night, Russian Roulette, Look Good and You Know It, Bright Side Girl. They're just, I mean, the fact that 4 of the new songs are songs that I can't decide which is the best kind of speaks to the quality of Eric's music, and then Bad Mother Trucker just slapped in there.
But I like it though. Like when I'm driving, I'll put that on and I'll be like, yeah.
I like the sound, but I don't like the words. I don't know.
I do not like
least
Bad Mother Trucker at all.
It never grew on me. I didn't
feel
like
like-
it when it came out, and it never grew.
I feel like
I liked
out
it
of
when
all
it
the
first
new
came out.
songs, Jenny was the most disappointing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
I hate all of you. I love Jenny.
I mean I like it, but it's I like the sound of it, but it's just it's repetitive.
Yeah,
I
that's
thought
the
it was
main
better than when
criticism.
Eric sung it at the live things.
What was that?
I thought it was better when it was recorded version than when he sung it at the couple of live shows he performed it.
Jenny was?
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
kept it more stripped back, even in the produced version.
I mean they're both pretty much acoustic, so.
Yeah, because he could only record acoustic because there was a power cut in the restaurant.
Oh yeah, right.
Really?
I think I remember him saying that actually now.
That's such a cool story.
Eric's just
I like that.
And they were saying something about, oh, fix the Jenny. And then he
Yeah.
was saying, oh, Jenny was in his head then, so he recorded that acoustic thing.
Didn't he say one of them came to him in a dream?
Crazy Land.
Crazy Land.
Crazy Land.
Crazy Land. The last I put this in the Discord in the chat the other day, but the last line of that clicked with me finally the other day, where he says, "It's sure nice to meet you, baby. Please come back." I always thought he was saying, "Please come back," because who would come back to this bar? It's depressing. It's sad. Obviously, no one wants to be here. Everyone's down on their luck. But the fact that the character's called "Baby, Please Come Back,"
Brilliant.
that's like
Yeah.
so clever.
That just clicked for me recently as well.
Yeah,
that's-
and when it
Wait!
clicked, yes.
I'm
Over sure be like,
bro, that completely blew over my head. I'm just sitting here, and I was like, "What's he talking like? Nice to meet you, baby. Please." That just clicked with me.
Yeah, because
Man, that song's well written.
Yeah.
Man, that song is well written.
That's why it's my favorite on the whole thing because of how good it's written.
It's
Yeah.
top tier Eric Church songwriter.
Because Eric Church actually he dreamed it backwards. So he dreamed he started at the end in his dream where he was showing this guy around a bar and this guy's name was Baby Please Come Back, and he was showing them all these different emotions. Really clever.
Holy crap! I've just
My
had
two
a-
least favorite songs are People Break and Brightside Girl. I just don't really like them.
And
Really?
also
I don't-
Server Me
yeah,
I don't
John-
like People Break. I mean, I don't have a.
It's just
People
it's
Break.
one of those ones that's just there for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Just
agree.
there.
It's not
I mean,
bad, but it's
I-
not good.
I did some digging into the chord progression of Brightside Girl because Overshaw you said that
Thank
you really
you. Yeah, what was that?
like that in the review. It's very clever. It's really clever. I mean, he's playing like different inversions all the way up the neck, so you're getting higher fretted. Like so, it's just basically just higher pitched. But he's going all through. You know, if anyone knows guitar chord progressions, it's you're likely to get maybe a 1-4-5 or something in a key. So 3 chords or 4 chords. That's why they say country music you just need 3 chords on the truth. But Eric Church is going from like C to G minor to B flat. He's going all over the place in that. So I can't remember it off the top of my head, but he's going all over the place.
It's chords that
if you want,
shouldn't
if you
really
want
work,
it,
but they
I
do.
will send you it. Oh yeah, it's chords. If you played them one after the other, you go ooh. But the way that he articulates them is in a way that is very very clever. I'd imagine
this is
that there was
Brightside
a
Girl, right?
musician on that. Yeah, Brightside.
Girl.
I like how it's acoustic at the beginning, and then like at the bridge it goes da da da.
Yeah,
and
those
I like
strings are
Yeah.
powerful.
the bridge really hits hard.
I think this
agree.
whole project is great as individual songs themselves rather than being stitched together because it was intended that way. It wasn't intended to make an album out of it. And then he just kind of says, okay, well, this is how we release it. We'll just group these together. So the fact that he did spend time releasing songs by song every now and then, I thought that was good for this project itself. Not necessarily good for all albums as a whole, but when he released once, it was enjoyable to excitement every month or so. You get a new song and each of those
That's a
songs
good
you can
point.
spend time enjoying.
Yeah, that is a good point. At
That's
first
a
I
good
didn't agree with that, but now I understand it now that I've heard everything.
Yeah, and it is
Yeah.
definitely more a collection of songs rather than an album. So
Yeah, I would agree. And especially when you know the context of the fact that this was made in a restaurant in the mountains of North Carolina in a month.
I think that's arguably the coolest part.
Super impressive. Super impressive.
We all need to go there for dinner someday.
Yeah.
Me and
That's
the
pretty good.
lads hitting up. What was it? Is it still open?
I would
Yeah,
hope.
just closest for winter. That's why he recorded it in January.
Yeah.
All right, me and the lads taking a trip. 1 million subscriber special. I'm taking 5 lucky
Imagine.
fans to the mountains of North Carolina, and we're going to make 25 songs in 25 minutes while eating food at a restaurant. And
Yes.
yeah, I think it's
I'm pretty sure I actually know where it is.
Really?
Mhm.
Does this mean we
It's
can
like
actually
2 hours away from me.
drop.
Oh my god.
Wait, so is Overshore gonna break the record and write one song in 1 minute?
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
let's do it.
And
We
it's
can
a-
beat.
I should
record
do
a
that, write
5-minute
in
song in
1
1 minute.
We'll call it. we'll make a double album. We'll call it Mind and Body.
Yes. Yes.
Let's go.
Things like this.
We'll
need
call
to
it
happen.
Over and Shore.
Yeah, I'm liking where this is going. I'm liking where this is going. And you know,
Don't
is
worry,
gonna-
boys. I'll
this
take
is
care
gonna
of
be
the body
legit.
part.
Okay.
We can put
Okay.
John on vocals, Jaded on bass, Big Bird on drums.
Oh, let's
The
go.
Journey of King George.
Big Bird can be like the guy from the Muppets, just get him in a big chicken costume.
I could be one of those drummers that just like goes crazy and spins all around in their chair and like knocks the cymbals down. Has anyone seen those videos?
There's a guy, the drummer from a band called The Who, called Keith Moon. If you want to see someone do that, Google him.
Do you know who I want to be? I want to be. Did you see the studio video for Break It Kind of Guy? And when it goes, I tell my eagle where to fly. There's a guy sitting on the sofa that just bounced his head back and forth.
I know who you're talking about because when I was making when I do my reviews, I just get like music videos and stuff, and I just kind of blur them and chuck them in the background, right? For just some visual change. And I just pick like a 20-second clip of each song and chuck it in. And I saw that because I was looking through Break It Kind of Guy to find parts where it's mostly Eric, and I saw that and I was like, this man's just vibing out, and I respect it so much.
Oh god,
You would be, wouldn't you? Private concert from Eric Church. Yeah. I'd be vibing.
Me and the boys
that
vibing
song
out.
and Bunch of Nothing have been the ones that were stuck in my head all week, and like all my colleagues in my office would have heard me humming along to them for the guts of the week, I think.
Well,
Yeah.
I think that's as we talk about Big Bird drumming cymbals off and guys vibing it to Eric Church, I think that's a nice spot to end it. So, thank you, boys, for hopping on. Thank you for all of you watching. If you made it to here, again, if you make it to the end of one of these hour-long videos, you are the elite of the viewers here on the channel. Drop a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. If you want to participate in these in the future, as I said in the start, join the Discord. Link in the description. Instagram. Link is also in the description. Any last words you want to say, boys?
I have some very wise words to say.
Let's hear these.
Always listen to Big Bird.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. In fact,
That's
there's
my-
actually a video
That's
suggestion.
my quote for the day.
There's a video suggestion from Big Bird that I do need to look into making once release season calms down a little bit. So we're gonna
Big
call
Bird
it.
versus
that's
Elmo.
Yeah, we're gonna call it there. And until next time, have a great day.